In the book also you have reference to memorials around Delhi University, the
Mutiny
Mutiny
Memorial.
Memorial, and more. What are the other areas? And Khuni Darwaza, because that's
Yes.
another one that we haven't spoken about yet. Now, this is again just stone's throw from Firozshah Kotla in a way,
Yes.
and it's today in the middle of a street, right, where you've got Isthana
Yes.
Fair and
And
all of
Bahadur Shah
that,
Zafar Marg, it's on
right?
that. Yeah.
But checkered history and a lot
Yes.
of like really sad stories around that monument.
Very, very sad stories. I mean, its name, Khuni Darwaza, right? It already strikes you. You wonder, why is it so bloody? And yes, it's interesting because it's very unassuming. If you pass by, you may miss it. It's covered by also a lot of trees, literally in the middle of the Bahadur Shah Zafar Road.
Right.
On one side is the college, Maulana Azad, and then on the other end is Firozshah Kotla.
Right.
Khuni Darwaza has a checkered history, because there was a lot of debate about who made this gateway in the first place and what was its purpose.
Right.
So, for again a basic background into the gates of Delhi, we talk about Ajmeri Gate and Delhi Gate and Kashmiri Gate, but
Correct.
what do these gates mean? Why are there so many gates?
Yeah.
When Shah Jahan built his walled city of Shah Jahanabad,
Correct.
it was walled, but you needed gates in directions, right?
Of course.
So all of these gates got the names after the direction. Delhi Gate, however, it was changed much later. I think it was called the Akbarabadi Gate in its own time. So you have gates of Delhi, but this particular gate was not a Shah Jahani, curation.
It's prior, most likely.
It's before. It's actually, it goes back to the time of Sher Shah Suri, who had defeated Humayun the first time around, when the Afghans had come into the picture, and in that interim they were ruling Delhi. So when you go to Humayun's tomb, you see Isa Khan's tomb, and you see some of those Afghani looking structures. They come during the 1500s, when you have this takeover happen. It's around that time that we think this gate came up. Its actual name is Lal Darwaza. It's the Red Gate. What ends up happening is that this gate is positioned in such a way that it's, in its heyday, is of course near Firozshah Kotla, which is one of these premier cities, right? And abandoned after new cities came up. Then you have the Purana Killa nearby. You go a little ahead, you have Humayun's tomb.
Right.
And then in front of this gate at some point, in the 1800s, in the 1850s, the jail came up where the college now stands.
Okay.
So it's positioned over there. The only story that we know most likely happened is of Bahadur Shah Zafar's sons. And most likely it did happen. We know for a fact that the sons and grandson of Bahadur Shah Zafar was shot with a Colt revolver at the end of the uprising. Bahadur Shah Zafar was hiding with his family in Humayun's tomb, and he was given a promise of life, but by Hudson. But it was not extended to his sons and grandsons. So when they were moving on carts from Humayun's tomb, you can imagine, if you look at the map, it's also in the book, I trace it, that they would be moving from Humayun's tomb, they would cross the Purana Killa, and they would come near the Khuni Darwaza, because near that is where the Delhi Gate is today. Delhi Gate was the entrance for Shah Jahanabad, and they were taking them to Shah Jahanabad again. So they would have reached Khuni Darwaza, and in that vicinity, the British record says that they felt that there was going to be another commotion. There was going to be, these princes were going to evade, escape, or kill us. So in that second, they decided to get those princes out. They stripped them down and they shot them dead in front or in this vicinity. Now we know that happened. This marg now is called Bahadur Shah Zafar Marg, after the sons and grandson of the man who were assassinated. But the other two stories of Dara Shuko and Abdur Rahim Khani Khan's sons are the ones I question, because They say that apart from the ghosts of Bahadur Shah Zafar's family, you also have Dara Shuko, that very, very popular prince in our imagination that has taken so many hours of debates on news channels. Roads have been changed from Aurangzeb Road to different names.
Correct.
Libraries are built in Dara Shuko's name. And yes, Dara Shuko was an exemplary figure. But this question of what if Dara had become the emperor and not Aurangzeb is something that haunts us more than the ghosts. So the story of Aurangzeb defeating Dara, which we know happened.
Right.
Then Aurangzeb beheading Dara, which we also know happened.
Correct.
After that, this legend, which there was a news documentary also on, that his head was taken and hung on Khuni Darwaza for people as a warning. This is highly unlikely because every record from that time says something entirely different.
Which is?
So you have Italian records. You have this man called Manushi who says that the head was sent on a platter to Shah Jahan in Agra and it masqueraded as food. And then when Shah Jahan opened the platter, he saw his son's head there and he broke his teeth on the slab. Then you have stories about how we do know most of the accounts say that before he was beheaded, him and his son were paraded in Delhi in rags on an elephant. We know that for a fact. But each record has something different to say, including one in which it says that the head was brought to Aurangzeb and Aurangzeb said that I did not want to see his face when he was alive, so I would not like for it. I wouldn't want to see it now. Then there are stories of how the head was put back onto the body and then he was buried. Another question then was, where is he buried? Because till today, the grave of Dara is a mystery as much as what happened with his head.
Right.
So my investigation was, and as I said, some of the ghosts of Delhi don't have a business being there. I think Khuni Darwaza got this reputation because we know of a very gory incident that happened over here in the 1850s when that gate became very relevant because of its geographical location.
Sure.
Before that, in the period of Abdur Rahim Khani Khana, who we know as the man from Rahim Ke Dohe,
Right.
and Dara Shuka and Aurangzeb,
Right.
I don't see much reason for that gate having to do anything with them and their ghosts.